What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I am Keemstar, and I'm here with...
Only Use Me Blade.
And we are here on the morning of the 4th of July. America. So, for those of you that are not in America, this is our national birthday. This is when we defended ourselves against the Redcoats, came up on top.
It's a reason for people to drink and barbecue and blow shit up. I know it sounds odd, but that's how we celebrate America, is we light off fireworks. We literally light shit that blows up. And as a kid, we used to be able to light off crazy fireworks, and now you kind of have to do it in a kind of a shady way.
Yeah.
Or you go to like some event where they're really blowing up a lot of fireworks and everyone watches.
Yeah. We're going to get into that in a minute. First, let's hit up our sponsor for this episode. Big shout out to Pro Mods. These guys make custom controllers, and they just launched a YouTube channel. They're trying to get that thing going. It is the Team Pro Mods. And when we say mods, it's not with an S. It's MODZ. So the link to their website is in the description, and the link to their YouTube channel is in the description. If you're looking at getting a brand new controller, or you kind of want to see the team that they've put together and they're sponsoring playing Call of Duty, make sure you go check them out.
I noticed that on their website, where it shows a lot of different stuff they can do, they actually have a lot of different things they do. Like, it's not just like a basic controller. Like, it looks like it's a regular controller, but they do crazy custom artwork to it.
Yeah.
And also, I think I saw something where they had like bullets as buttons.
Yeah, they do. Actually, I have a controller from these guys. We know these guys.
Okay.
We met them at E3.
Oh, okay.
The
guy that we met at E3, we got picked up from the airport,
and he gave you a brownie.
Yes. I don't know if we need to mention that. But yeah, that dude was so kind as to give me a brownie. So
and the brownie was
medicinal.
But those guys over there at Pro Mods are pretty fucking cool. I actually got in a fight with them once, but it was squashed because the dude's real cool. There was like a big battle going on back in the day, but it got squashed real quick.
You know what's interesting? A lot of times
you laugh because, like, God damn it,
you're not really promoting.
You're not supposed to talk about that. Well, I'm not going to talk about it. But those guys ended up being really cool. But at one time, we did.
Well, I think that a lot of great relationships starts from initially people are either arguing or having a disagreement, and then it's almost like how people handle the disagreement. A lot of times, he goes, "Oh, this dude's cool." Like, I think you and I, that's how we started. Me and Thunder. I never heard of Thunder until I watched a video of Thunder's from way back in the day on his old channel.
Bashing you.
He wasn't bashing me. He said something that sounded as if he was taking a jab at me. And I was like, so I messaged him. I'm like, well, what the fuck, dude? Like, what's going on? And then he was
Does Thunder smoke? Because he's got 420 in his name.
No, it doesn't have 420 in his name.
Yeah, there's like Thunder 420 or some shit like that.
No, it's 402, you dyslexic fuck.
402?
402 is the area code. It's a New York area code.
Oh.
And that's where he stays at. Like, that's the area.
That's not Brooklyn, because that's 718. Where is he? What's 402?
It's
Staten. No.
I don't know. It's that 402. I don't know. It's the area code that he stays at. It's not 420 though.
At the end of the day, if you're looking for a custom controller, these guys are pretty reasonable. And I actually have a Team Noble custom controller from Pro Mods, and it's got this color changing paint on it. Mm-hmm. So when I put my hand on it, the controller turns blue.
That's crazy.
From heat sensory. It's pretty fucking sweet. Yeah, these guys put all kinds of mods. If you're looking for that rapid fire, if you're looking for all that shit, check them out. The link is in the description. Shout out to Kelly. Haven't seen you in about a year. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
So since you probably brought it, okay, so a couple episodes back, I basically explained to the Bad Kid Podcast audience that I do in fact occasionally smoke marijuana. Okay.
Yes.
Now, the reason why I never talked about this before is because I didn't want to I felt like I was like a role model of some sort, and I didn't want to tell kids.
I'm glad that you're changing. I'm glad that you're changing because I have, ever since this whole thrust experience, mm-hmm. I have found myself hating the little kids in the community. You know what I mean? I hate them. These motherfuckers are tweeting at me like, "You're 30 years old." What does that mean?
Yeah.
That's just like a fucking. You're basically admitting that you're a very young child and you're not old enough to play an M17 game when you accuse me of being 30, which I am, and I'm guilty of.
Yeah, I don't really pay attention to that stuff. Anyways, the reason why I bring that up is because when we went out to E3 last year, there was a I didn't have any, like when I traveled, I didn't have any weed. And I was like, I'm in California. It'd be nice to have a little something, you know? So I'm figuring this dude is going to just, give me a little bit of weed, right?
Right.
No, this dude at the event was like, I got something for him. I'm like, why are you going to give this to me now? Like, what the fuck? And so then he hands me a brownie and like, a psychedelic brownie. Like it's a weed brownie, right? Now, I'm not really...
He goes, just take a little bit.
That's how every... All right, so let me explain it. So for some reason, whenever someone gives you a brownie, they always like have it on this weird setting where they kind of go, listen, just take like a quarter of it. Don't take the whole thing, right? Which I think is retarded because, like, what happens when you smoke after you initially get high? What do you want to do? You get the munchies, right?
Yeah, but eating marijuana is completely different than smoking.
Completely different.
Completely different. Like, it is a psychedelic experience.
Mm-hmm.
So
I take it, and every time someone says that, I just don't like it. It's kind of like me walking into the Moe's place and people are like, welcome to Moe's, welcome to Moe's. I'm like, fuck you. Like, so whenever someone gives me a cookie or a brownie or something like that, right? They always say, hey, listen, just take like a crumb of it or something. I'm not like a little mouse. Like, I'm going to eat the whole thing. So I pop the whole thing in my mouth. He's like, oh my God. He looked at me like I just did the stupidest thing ever.
The guy from Pro Mods is like, wow, what the fuck did you just do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so he's like, I'm fine. And he's like even telling everyone, he's like, can you believe this guy was like, hey, I should just take a little bit? He's like, fuck that, I'm eating the whole thing. He's like,
and
telling us
the
all.
thing was is that he was telling other people that were like chill, cool people. But he's telling other people, he's like, Blade has got to be fried out of his gourd right now.
And Blade's like, I'm fine.
I'm good.
I'm fine.
So we are walking around.
It's me, him, and Wicket Shrapnel walking around E3.
And I'm a Call of Duty guy. That's all I'm interested in, right? So I just want to see. It was a presentation for what was a presentation?
Modern Warfare 3.
It was a presentation for Modern Warfare 3, right? So I'm like, okay, we had to wait in line for this presentation for Modern Warfare 3. About halfway through the line, the shit hits me.
Dude,
hits me.
This dude went from completely sober, mad that the shit's not working, to gone.
I was fucked up, right?
His eyes were fucking bright red. He's standing in line, and he just had like this pale look on his face, and he's like, I'm really fucking high.
Yeah, I'm really fucking high right now. Like, this is, like, this, and, okay, imagine being really fucking high, but in a line. So I'm like, fuck. And, like, I remember there was fans that came up to me and were trying to talk to me, and I was like, I felt really bad because I wasn't, like, engaging with them. I was so gone, though, you know what I mean?
Dude, E3 is all about walking around forever. And, like, I just remember you being, like, slow as hell. Mm-hmm. Like, anytime we'd have to go somewhere, it was just like, come on, Blade, keep up. What's going on?
So we wait in this line. I'm in line. I'm pretty fried, right? And
gone.
When I say fried, I just mean like I'm past the point of being baked. I'm it's not good. Anyway, we finally get into this movie theater style room.
So let me set it up for you. Basically, what they did is Infinity Ward, right? Mm-hmm. Infinity Ward set this up, and they had like a movie like screen area with these nice leather couches. And basically, there was this huge line, and you went in.
I think it was for Black Ops 2. Now that I think about it,
no, it's not, because you got to think about it. Modern Warfare 3 came out, or maybe it was Black Ops 2.
It was for Black Ops 2.
It was for Black Ops 2.
It was for Black Ops 2 because it was last year, and the game wasn't coming out for a while.
It was Black Ops 2.
We finally got into this movie theater
because I still have that shirt from Black Ops 2.
Exactly, it was Black Ops 2. We get into this movie theater style room, and we get to sit in these nice leather chairs.
But this line is like an hour wait, and basically this room held like 30 people, and you didn't get to play the game, but you got to see an awesome presentation.
Yeah, in like a THX setting or whatever. So I was super pumped to finally sit down after standing in line for a long time, and we're sitting there, and as I'm sitting there, they start talking about they start talking about the different things in the game, different things that you can do in the game, different ways you can play it, this and that. And the whole time I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, when are they going to show multiplayer? Like, I know they're showing, they're showing like single player and they're doing different missions. So they literally, a dude playing on a projector, they showed about 3 or 4 levels from the single player. I'm like, that's pretty badass. I like how they did that. That's new. That's actually something new to Call of Duty. But the whole time I'm like, all right, they gotta bust out the single. They gotta bust out the multiplayer. Show us some multiplayer footage.
Yeah.
I shit you not. This is how they ended it. It's like, I know you guys support us. I know that you are the reason why Call of Duty is as popular as it is now. Trust me when I say that the entire team has spent many sleepless nights creating the best experience. Now, I know you guys are interested in multiplayer. I know you guys are interested in zombies. Don't you worry. We got you. It's going to be amazing. Then the lights turn on, and they're like, and everyone starts clapping.
I'm like,
wait a second! Oh, bring it back!
Me, Wicked, Shrapnel, and Blade are just like, no! No! This was a fucking 2-hour line. No!
And I didn't come for single player. Like, I've said this before, single player for Call of Duty is for people when the internet goes out. If the internet ever goes out, that's when you bust out the single player.
My internet has been fine, so I have not been able to play the fucking campaign in Call of Duty Black Ops. Here's the thing. I don't play any campaigns, and we've talked about this before. Mm-hmm. I don't play any campaigns. Imagine if a gaming company that did a first-person shooter said, you know what? This year, fuck the campaigns. We are going to make the most amazing multiplayer ever. Imagine all the work that goes into making those fucking campaigns with all the CGI footage and like fucking, you know what I mean? Like, it's not CGI footage, but you know what I mean. Imagine if they took all that effort that they put towards the campaign and just focused on multiplayer. You'd have so many fucking maps, so many game types. That game would be amazing, and it would be the most highest selling game ever.
A lot of you know what though? Think about this for a second. A lot of people complain about so like the DLC dropped, right? Now, if you want everything there is out of this current Call of Duty, right?
Yeah.
It's like you buy the game, and then you spend a little bit extra, and you get these map packs, right?
Yeah.
But the thing that you fail to realize is that what you can do with Call of Duty, right? You have the single player, which I'm assuming is pretty epic. You know?
I'm sure it is too, but who the fuck plays campaign?
But also, with Treyarch, though, at least, you get zombies.
Right.
Which is, if you're into it, it can be an amazing experience.
You do, I see the point that you're trying to make is that they offer a lot in that game.
They offer a lot of things, so I don't mind. Like, if you actually were to break it, good example. Like, let's say you were to buy a single player game, you spend like $60, right?
Yeah.
And you play it, and you go hard on it for like even like a weekend. Like, let's say you go hard on it you could beat a game in a weekend, and then you're done with it.
Here's the thing: Call of Duty has so many sales and makes so much money. They have to offer that. They have to fucking bring you a ton of shit. You know what I mean? To stay ahead of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree, but at the same time, like I think you're getting value out of Call of Duty because what you get out of it. I'm not gonna be like Call of Duty fanboy about this, but whenever someone complains like, oh, this and that, it's like, dude, you're playing the fuck out of this game, you know?
I got fucked up when the maps came out.
Explain this. I feel bad because there was a miscommunication as far as like when we were going to do this show. Like we're doing this show like every other day, and there was a miscommunication because our sleep schedule has been fucked up. You hit me up like right as I was going to sleep, and then I hit you up and I couldn't hear from you. I finally get here and I'm giving you shit. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Why'd you flake out on me? This and that, and then go ahead.
Basically, the maps were coming out, right? And Blade ran a stream, and it was an awesome stream. Mm-hmm. That stream was amazing. There was like at one point there was close to 2,000 people watching.
Yeah.
And it was.
And it wasn't during the day. It was like late at night.
It was like 4:00 in the morning because we were waiting for the map packs to come out. Blade decided to do a stream. I didn't know you were streaming. I joined at one point, and you're playing zombies, and I seen that guy whose camp was in there. I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, I want to play with these guys, and I figured out that you were streaming. So, and we ended up basically doing a podcast on your Twitch stream. It was me, you, and that guy who camps, and it was awesome. It was the greatest time ever.
Yeah.
And we're all waiting for the map packs to come out, and basically what I did is I had a cup of coffee, and I started like drinking my Gamma Lab stuff. Mm-hmm. And I don't mean to like fucking knock on them or anything, but what it did is it induced a panic attack.
Yeah, so it's not anything against Gamma Labs. It's the fact that he was mixing Gamma Labs and caffeinated coffee
And see, it was like the perfect storm because I know that if I have too much caffeine or too much vitamin B or whatever, that I will get a panic attack. And I've had panic attacks before. They're horrible. You people that have never had a panic attack, it's going to be really hard for you to understand this. But those of you that have, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about, right? So I get a panic attack, and I'm like, I'm having a panic attack. I know what it is. And just, when I get panic attacks, I know what they are, and I can usually talk myself out of them. It takes about 20 minutes, and then I'm fine. What happened is basically my whole arm, my left arm, went numb.
That's scary.
So I'm like looking it up, and it says if your left arm is numb, that you could be having a heart attack. So I start freaking out, right?
Which is kind of like, if you read that, the only way you'd read that is if your left arm was numb. And then wouldn't that kind of add to the heart attack portion of it?
It adds to the panic attack.
Yeah, it adds to the panic attack, yeah.
So I am now freaking the fuck out, right?
Yeah.
I wake Melissa up. I'm like, look, I need some aspirin at least.
Yeah.
I think I'm having a panic attack, but it might be a heart attack. What I want to do is I want to get aspirin. So Melissa's like fucking swearing, what the fuck, because I'm waking her up in the middle of the night. We ended up going to the drugstore. I got aspirin and came home and drank some chamomile tea to calm myself down. And eventually it went away. Now, yesterday, it's the middle of the day. I'm feeling fine again. And all of a sudden, my fucking arm goes numb. All right? So I start doing more Google searching. And I start freaking out. And, dude, when you have a panic attack and you think that it's not a panic attack and you think it might be a heart attack or a stroke or something like that, it's so scary. It's like I'm to the point where I'm like looking over I open up the safe, looking at my fucking will, just like fucking trying to get shit in order. I feel like I'm gonna die. But at the same time, I hate hospitals and I don't want to go to the hospital. Don't want to call fucking 911. Don't want to do any of that shit because part of me knows that it's a panic attack. So it gets to the point where I'm so fucking scared. And Melissa took Mia to the museum yesterday. So I call my girlfriend Melissa, and I'm like, look, it's back. I don't know what to do. She's like, go to the ER. So I drive to the ER. I'm like fucking cutting off people, driving like an idiot, thinking I'm going to die before I even get there, right? Mm-hmm. So I go and I send the papers, and then they call me in, and I sit down, and I do the initial vitals where they're taking my blood pressure and stuff like that. And all of a sudden it goes away. And that's when I knew it most likely is a panic attack. So they do the EKG, my heart's fine. They do the CAT scan, my brain's fine. They do fucking x-ray. And what happened is in the back of my shoulder, I have an injury or something. I don't know where it came from, probably from me being drunk a couple days before. And I have a pinched nerve, which is making my arm numb.
Oh, okay.
So it was like the perfect storm is that I have this pinched nerve and I got too caffeinated.
Yeah.
And it all came together at once. And, dude, I'm telling you, it's the scariest thing in the world. You think you're dying when you have these panic attacks. It's fucking scary. And if there isn't some hard, concrete proof that everything's fine, you can't stop the panic attack. It just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. Yeah. So, yeah. So after...
I've been in the middle of fucking before. And I was, like, really in the moment. Like, I was kind of... went into like the how do I say this, like
autopilot?
Yeah, I go into that autopilot thing where I'm just like kind of jackhammering a little bit, and I felt my heart beating a little bit faster, but for whatever reason my heart went from that to it felt like it was banging on my chest trying to get out. Like someone took imagine a mouse in a coffee can and you light a match to it or some shit like that.
A mouse?
Well,
a mouse in a coffee can and you light a match to it.
Okay, have you ever seen Too Fast, Too Furious?
We are not going to be sponsoring PETA.
Okay, have you ever seen Too Fast, Too Furious?
Yes.
Okay, do you remember the part when they're in the nightclub and they grab the news reporter and they put a mouse and they put like a coffee can over the mouse and then like light on fire, right?
No, I don't remember.
Okay, well there's a part where they put this dude on his back, lift up his stomach, his belly's showing, and they put a coffee can with a mouse in it, and they take a blowtorch to the coffee can. And they're saying, like, a mousekin will figure out a way to get out of there, so the only real way to get out of there is to crawl through your stomach, and they can eat through pipes. So you better tell us what we need to know, or we're just going to keep on burning this thing.
Yeah.
It was basically like my heart was in my chest, and it was beating so fast and moving around, acting as if it wanted to like get out of my chest.
Right.
And I stopped. I was like, am I having a fucking heart attack? And, it's probably, I was just, exerting too much energy during sex or whatever. But, like, honestly, I felt like that was, like, the start of a heart attack or something like that.
So did that then turn into, like, a panic attack?
No, because here's the thing. When that happened, I was like, woo-saw. Like, I stopped fucking. And she was like, what's wrong? And I'm like, shut up. Like, I was in this mode like, okay, let me just keep it calm and soothing.
Have you ever had a panic attack?
No, I think I'm too chill to have panic attacks.
It's really hard to know what a panic. Like some people have them, but they don't know that it is a panic. Like,
yeah,
it's when you have your first panic attack, you don't know what a panic attack is, so you're just like, oh my god, I'm dying.
Well, I just figured
dying.
I figured since my heart was beating so fast that I needed to just calm the fuck down. That's what I needed to do. Because I figure if I kept on like, oh my god, what the fuck's happening, then I'd probably die. So I went into this natural survivor mode like, okay, quietness, shh, easy. Don't say, you know what I mean? I went to that.
Yeah.
See how your heart just slowed down a little bit right there?
Yeah.
That's what I did, like out of instinct.
And that's the thing. I knew part of me was like, I'm having a panic attack, so I was doing that.
Yeah.
But my arm was still numb, so I'm like, fuck, I'm having a stroke, I'm having a heart attack, I'm about to die.
Yeah.
So I couldn't calm myself down. My arm's still numb right now, and I still don't know what I did. Maybe I need to stretch or something. I don't know what's going on.
Ladder ball injury, bro.
No, it's my left arm.
Oh.
So.
Oh, well, way to ruin it. All right, so there's I want to get your opinion on this, okay? So there was I don't really watch the news too much. I know it sounds horrible, but a lot of times where I get information is from online, right?
Philip DeFranco,
yes. And he told two stories in one of his recent like daily episodes that he does.
Okay.
And they both of them involved like hostage situations. Okay.
Yes.
Now the first one is this. It was a situation where there was like a robbery that took place.
Okay.
So there's a whole bunch of cop cars. It's the middle of the day. A whole bunch of cop cars dealing with this house. Right. Well, this dude drives by in his car playing his music loud as hell. He's a black dude.
Okay.
Super loud music. And he pulls over and gets out of the car and brings his dog with him. And just is trying to see what the big commotion is. Well, his music's still playing, and the cops are like, hey, you need to turn your music off and leave. Like, you're interrupting this investigation.
Right.
So he was kind of like, well, you don't tell me what to do, blah, blah, blah. And so they started walking towards him. He's like, oh, shit, I'm black, and there's a bunch of cops coming to me. I'm probably going to get arrested. So what he does is he takes his dog and puts his dog in the car. And then gets out. So now he's in a discussion with the police about 5 feet away from his car. Well, the windows were down in the car. So the dog is like seeing its owner being kind of harassed by the police.
Okay.
And in the process of being arrested. So the dog hops out of the car and goes up and kind of assesses the situation. Doesn't jump on the cop or anything like that, but just assesses the situation. So
the dog's like growling and stuff.
Growling. He's not like attacking, but he's just kind of growling.
Yeah.
Well, the cop felt threatened. So the cop pulls out his gun and kills the dog.
They do that all the time. There's so many accounts of cops killing dogs. Yeah.
So the question really is this. Is it the dude's fault for not securing his dog, or is it the cop's fault for that? Now, they dug up some dirt on the cop, right? Mm-hmm. And the police force that he worked for had to pay $1 million out in a settlement because he kicked a dude in the head after pushing him down after being handcuffing a dude that shouldn't have been handcuffed in the first place.
Wow.
And so he already had like a bad rap sheet before this. And so it's like, who do you side with this? Or do you side? Or do you think both are on the wrong?
Here's the problem with the killing the dog thing, right? Somehow, some way, it goes out like when they're training police, like if you feel threatened by a dog, shoot it.
Yeah.
And it's the stupidest thing in the world. They're in Ohio. I believe it was in Ohio. They went in and they got a warrant and everything. They thought this guy was a drug dealer.
Yeah.
Turns out he wasn't a drug dealer. All they found was like a pipe and it was filled with marijuana. Like there wasn't even like an eighth at his house, right?
Yeah.
So they stormed the dude's house thinking he's a fucking drug dealer. There's a dog in a cage inside their house and they shot the dog in the cage.
God damn.
Right? Then they find nothing. And the whole thing was caught on camera. And it's like on YouTube somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, It's the stupidest thing. And I remember, like, when I was a child, we had the cops up at our house for some reason. It wasn't like a domestic dispute. I don't know what it was. Mm-hmm. I think it was one time. Oh, I never told you this story. One time when I was a kid, my grandfather was still alive, and my parents own a dairy farm, and he was basically spraying the field. And by spraying the field, it means like putting chemicals and stuff on the corn so that bugs don't destroy the corn.
Yeah.
And he calls up my dad. He's like, look, there's some type of plant infestation in your field. There's a whole section that has like taken over the corn. So my dad goes down there and he's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
He's like, this is marijuana. So basically what these guys did is they took like something like 300 plants, right? And what they do is they go in the middle of the cornfield as it's growing, and it's only like that high.
Yeah.
And they pull out the corn and put the weed in there. Mm-hmm. So when the corn gets high, it hides the marijuana.
Okay.
And then they just go through the field and get it before they shut down or they cut down the corn. So basically, my dad's like, oh my God, like he's like freaking out. And my parents ended up like calling the cops, and they went and pulled it, and it ended up being like $500,000 street value.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And my sister was so upset because like everybody, she didn't smoke weed herself, but everybody she knew smoked weed.
Yeah.
So my sister's like, you have no idea how much money.
They just burn that shit.
Yeah, so they pulled it all out, and so I don't know whoever planted that marijuana in our field. They must hate my fucking family.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
But at the same time, they destroyed probably, I don't know, maybe a couple $100 worth of corn.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. The other story.
But anyhow, to get back to it, I think that was the time that we called the cops over to our house. The cops came, and my dogs start barking and stuff, and they're like, if you don't take care of that dog, we're going to shoot it.
Yeah.
And I remember that when I was a kid, like,
So the other story, and this is more like straightforward. It's pretty awesome, actually. They got it all on tape. They got both of these on tape, right? But so it's like a Walmart or Kmart or whatever. There's this lady. She has her 2-year-old daughter in the front seat of a cart. This dude walks by, grabs the kid, takes a knife to the kid's throat, and like holds the kid hostage.
Okay.
And so people are like freaking out. The store empties. All they have now is like a couple of employees of the place like trying to talk to the dude, and he's like threatening to like kill the kid, right? And so a police, an undercover police officer that comes in, and he's like a hostage negotiator, and he's talking to him for like a good half hour, right? And gets to the point where the dude kind of gets tired. He's sitting in a chair they provided, and it looks like he's about to like take the knife to the kid's throat. He calmly walks up to him, takes out a gun, and shoots him point blank in the head while he's holding this girl, and kills the dude.
The girl's fine?
The girl's fine.
I think that's good.
Yeah, that's a badass motherfucker if you ask me. Like, think about that. Like, a lot of times people, like, I don't know what the protocol is, but this dude looked at the situation. This psychopath.
So was he not supposed to do that? Did he like not follow protocol?
No. There's no issue with it. Everything was caught on camera, and apparently he did everything by the book. He just had the balls and the wherewithal to know when to do it. He went up and shot the dude in the head because he was endangering this poor little girl.
Yeah, that's amen.
Yeah, there's no. That's what I'm saying. It's an open shut thing. There's nothing like, well, he should have done it differently. Like, no, this dude took a random girl and held a knife to her throat for like, probably traumatized her for a good hour and a half.
Yeah.
So and it all got caught on tape that he just went up and just shot him in the fucking head.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I
wish more people would just like, when you watch a movie and it's like, well, I'm gonna kill you now, Batman, and it's like this long torture scene.
Yeah.
It's like, motherfucker, this movie should be 2 minutes. Bang bang. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just shoot him. Like I don't get this whole idea of let's torture people.
Well, the thing that really upsets me is now that I've become a parent, like the Sandy Hook situation when that went down. Like, I couldn't even watch it. I had to turn it off.
Yeah.
Like, it makes me so furious when I hear, I've been so able to disconnect myself from the news and all that stuff. Like, oh, somebody got murdered today. Oh, not a big deal. No emotion, like, drawn from me. Just, it's the fucking news.
Didn't happen to me, so fuck it.
But when it involves kids, like, I find myself, like, getting so fucking pissed off, like, wanting to do something. And it's I don't know. It's definitely changed my whole perspective Definitely. Well, we're going to be right back after this. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll take a quick break. What is up? And we are back.
I've been blocking people.
You've been blocking people.
I've been blocking people.
I've been blocking people too, now that I think about it.
And I know this is going to be very hypocritical because I've talked about how I don't really care. So I've said this before. If you spam me, I'll block you. If you have an opinion about me, whatever. But lately, if someone has if someone's just outright just annoying or whatever, I just block them, right?
My situation with blocking recently is like if somebody, like a little kid comes up to me on Twitter and they're like, faggot, you ruined Thrust. Like, all right, you're blocked. Yeah. You just admitted that you're 12.
Well, I actually blocked a dude. I may have talked about this before. I'm not gonna say the dude's name because I came up with an awesome saying. Putting someone on blast. When you do that, no matter what the outcome is, you're still putting them on.
What do you mean?
Okay, let's say me as a large commentator, right? And not like I'm a fat commentator. I'm like, okay, I have a large audience, right? Or whatever, large followers, whatever. If I were to go off on somebody, put them on blast, put them in their place, whatever, on Twitter or YouTube, whatever, I'm still putting that person on. I'm still like doing a spotlight on it. Even if it's negative, I'm still putting him on. So if I do put that person on blast, he's actually benefiting from it.
Okay.
So that's why I came up with the saying, putting someone on blast, you're still putting them on. Okay?
Yeah.
And so what happened was, back in Modern Warfare 2, there was the museum challenge that I made up, which was try to knife only in the museum, right?
Yeah.
And I said, anybody that wants to make a video like that can do it, send it to me, and then I'll do a dual commentary with you, and you be on my channel, you get some exposure, and my fans will be able to get a cool video, right?
Yeah, yeah.
This dude sent me a video, and it was like the winner. Like, he did it in the best time or whatever. But as I was watching it, it looked a little shady.
Okay.
It looked fake to me.
Well, how could you fake it?
I don't know how I think he put it on some kind of, I don't know how he could have faked it, but basically he was taking, like, normally if you get hit like 3 times, you're dead, right? And it looked like he took about 6 or 7 hits. Like, I counted them. Okay. And it just didn't look right. So I put out a thing. I was like, guys, I don't want to put anything fake on my channel. You know what I mean? Like,
so guys, is this fake or not? I think I remember this.
And I said, is this fake or not? Link it to him. I don't want you guys to flame this dude, but like, just watch for yourself because I don't want to put something fake on my channel, but I don't feel like I'm the authority. People go over there and they watch it and they're like, yeah, it's definitely fake. Okay. So then he was like, let me do it again. I'm like, no, you had your shot. Don't do it. And then I forgot about that dude. Completely forgot about him. Okay. A couple years later, he's still like making videos. I'm not gonna put him on blast, but because there's nothing to benefit from it. But he randomly responded to something on Twitter, and I was like, wait a second. I should have blocked you a long time ago. Like, yeah. I have no negative feelings towards you, but I don't want to see you in my mentions, so get blocked.
So he was tweeting at you talking shit?
No, he wasn't tweeting at me talking shit at all.
He was just tweeting at you.
He was tweeting at me as like a fellow watcher of my videos. Like, I went to his Twitter, he was following me, so he probably still watched my videos. He watched my videos before, he probably still did. But I was just like, you tried to jeopardize the legitimacy of me. You know what I mean? Right. So I just blocked him. And of course, like, people were still responding to him, and he was trying to talk shit, but I don't even want to hear him. You know what I mean? Right. I see that a lot though. I see like a lot of people, you know, I don't know, just doing kind of shitty things and thinking that's not going to get.
Yo, I want to bring up something that happened that's kind of shitty. What? Jericho had a fucking like deal with Razer. Okay. All right. So he was like promoting this controller and shit, right? Okay. And he was talking shit about Scuff. All right.
I remember.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. All right. So he was basically saying like that Scuff controllers weren't really that special and blah blah blah, and he was promoting this Razer thing because he was getting paid by Razer. Now he might say he wasn't, but whatever.
That was a long time ago. That was a while ago.
Yeah. Now recently, he contacts fucking Scuff, and he's like, you know what? I decided to give your controller a go, and now he like wants to work with Scuff.
He actually said he wants to work with them?
Yes!
That's crazy.
He's a hypocritical, like, you can't do that. If you're gonna do that, you have to fucking upload a video and say, look, I was wrong. Scuff controllers are good. Or just fucking tell people the truth and just straight up be like, look,
Well-
these guys were paying me then, so I was talking shit about their fucking opponent. But now I'm trying to get paid by by Scuff.
I can't put myself in Jericho's shoes, and this isn't me being political, bro. I know
Jericho-
you're gonna say that's me being political. I can't put myself.
Jericho,
in...
I met you in real life. You're cool and everything, but come on, bro. Come on. Like, stop it. Stop. This shit does not fly when you got Keemstar on Twitter.
You are. You're like trying to be like the moral police and stuff. And...
No, because listen, I can never be the moral police because I've done so much shitty stuff.
Yeah.
But the thing is because I've done so much shitty stuff, I recognize other shitty stuff. You know what I mean?
So you think that makes you more of an expert in shitty
Well,
things?
okay, why? Yeah, because
You're like the convict that gets out of prison and
I was just gonna
helps the
say
feds.
that. I was just gonna say that. Why the fuck does the feds like hire hackers to work for them? It's because they know.
I always wonder about that. I wonder if there's some kid out there that wants to like get a job at the FBI, so he hacks.
No,
something.
they do. No, for real. There were fucking hackers that were like fucking up my shit like back in the day. Though this bird is going fucking.
He's going ham.
That bird's having a panic
I don't know
attack.
if you guys can hear this on the show, but
No, they can. They can because the one day we did the fucking show, all I could do is hear birds in the background. That bird's going off.
Damn.
What the fuck was I talking about?
Hackers.
Oh, these fucking hackers. I was like, dude, you're gonna end up going to jail. Just stop it. You know what? The things that you're doing to me isn't really affecting my life to the point where like I'm upset. It's just you're like breaking into emails and you're doing stuff. And eventually one day you're gonna get caught. So stop.
Yeah.
And this dude responded to me. He's like, I hope to get a job at the FBI.
See, that's
what-
stupid. I was just about to say
I
that,
want
like,
to commit crimes so I can fucking get a job for the FBI. That's
Alright,
what this dude told me.
Newsflash to you guys: if you were, let's say, you were like, you know what, I want to work for the FBI, so let me like try to rob this super secure bank because if I get away with it, then they are gonna want to give me a job. No, they're gonna throw your ass in prison. I'm sorry. You can't do heinous, like, illegal shit and expect them to be like, you were so good at this illegal shit that we're going to give you a job. It doesn't work like that.
Why don't you, like, figure out how to break into the bank and, like, test it out and then call the cops and fucking turn yourself in and be like, look, I did this to see if I could do it. I was able to do it, and I didn't take any money, but I did break in, and I kind of want a job.
That's one thing. But, like, this whole idea... You know what I hate? This frustrates me. In TV shows... when they're doing things like Prison Break. You ever seen Prison Break?
Right.
If you're on death row, they're not letting you work out in the yard. You know what I mean? Like, they're not letting you do that shit. Like, there's certain, like, protocols or, like, you watch something and someone, like, escapes from police custody. It's like, it doesn't work like that. I understand it's for a show, but, like, it's not that lax, and it doesn't work like that. If you're on death row for murder and you're about to be executed, they're not letting you out to, like, walk the yard. I'm sorry. It just doesn't work like that. I don't know.
Where were you going with that?
I don't like it.
You don't like what?
I don't like like when in TV shows, just the same idea, like what we were just talking about, like someone robs a bank with the intention to get hired by the FBI.
Oh, so in TV shows, people will be like in jail and they'll be sentenced to death, but they're allowed to like go around and talk to other people.
Yeah, shit like
and
that.
And it doesn't really work that way.
It doesn't work that way.
Okay.
And like if you do, and there's so many TV shows, like there was like a show called Breakout Kings, right? Which was about people that break out of prison. They find them and they don't send them back to prison. They literally say, okay, well, you can work for us. It's like, no, it doesn't work like that. I'm sorry. Like, if you are a security risk, because that's what an escape person is. An escape person is a security risk, right?
Dude, there was this guy around here that escaped out of jail twice. And the second time he escaped out of jail, his name was Bucky.
Yeah.
All right. The second time he escaped out of jail, like, because he did it twice, it was like national news and they were trying to fucking hunt him down and find him. They ended up, like, shooting a random kid on a four-wheeler thinking it was him. The state troopers did and killed him. Like, they fucked up.
I heard about that.
Yeah, and basically this guy, Bucky, they weren't able to catch him, and he became so popular that, like, normal citizens were, like, helping him out, like, helping him, like, evade from the law. And
That's
there was, like, restaurants that were having signs, like, free Bucky or run Bucky run sales and shit. Like, so what the police ended up doing is they arrested, listen to how fucking mobster gangster shit this is. The police arrested his whole family. Right?
That's fucked. Yeah.
They arrested his whole family, and they arrested him as far as like aiding and abetting when there was no proof that he was aiding and abetting, and they did that to get to him, and it worked. He ended up like coming out of the woods.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to. Like, if you arrest, like, let's say I was in prison and I escaped, right? And they fucking like arrested my mom, and my sister. I would be forced. I'm not gonna let my mom and sister sit in jail. So
But that's so fucked up.
well, you escaped from prison though. You escaped from custody. You know another thing.
This dude wasn't in custody, but this dude wasn't in custody for like a violent crime. Like he was like robbing shit out of trailers, like stealing beer.
I understand that, but you know another thing that I fucking hate. It's such a movie cliche, right? Somebody who's innocent, right? Who's in jail is innocent. He breaks out and finds the killer, their actual killer, and then once they find the actual killer, then everything's all good. It's like no,
no, he would still get charged from escaping from prison.
That's what I'm saying. That's in real life. That's what would happen. Like, what was the movie? You ever seen The Fugitive?
Yeah, The Fugitive.
The Fugitive is awesome. The Fugitive is a movie made for grown-ups.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is that movie is not made for children. It's not made to get a laugh. It's a serious movie. And it's awesome, right? It's made for like a very adult. I don't mean like sexual adult, but like adult themes, you know?
Yes.
And he escaped from the fucking bus and has been on the run, right?
Yep.
And while he's on the run, he tries to find the
killer,
the
real killer, because he went to jail. Just so you know, he went to jail for killing his wife, but he didn't kill his wife. Someone else did.
Yeah.
So
when I don't want to give the movie away, but
when I think about The Fugitive, all I can picture is him on the edge of that water.
Yeah.
That's the only. Look at that little baby rabbit.
Where?
At the very end of the runway.
Oh, that's adorable.
This rabbit has to be the size of like a mouse. It's so small.
Pretty tiny. It could probably fit in a coffee can.
Yeah, that's real small. Oh, you're sick. It could fit in a coffee can. What do you want to heat it up and see if it can chew its way?
Well, someone's been listening to the podcast. I hate that. I hate when people like I don't know, when I do a commentary, I don't know what's going to stick with people. Okay, like a lot of times I've had Sunday like some of my best Sunday show commentaries that I've done. I've thought about not even upload because I thought it was crap, and people are like, "Dude, that touched me. That was amazing."
Isn't it fucked up when someone tells you about a video that you made that has affected their life and it's amazing and you can't remember what the fuck it was?
Yeah.
Isn't that fucked up?
Yeah.
Because it's just like, it's a reminder of how much power and influence people in our positions sometimes have.
Yeah.
Because it's like, this one dude contacted me. He's like, this video that you made in FAG, I was fucking sick. I was in the hospital and like I was going through a tough time. This dude told me he had leukemia, right? Yeah. He ended up beating it and like survived, right? Just about 6 months ago, he contacts me. He's like, this video literally made me happy and fucking like started turning, everything started with my sickness turned around after this point, and I want to thank you very much. I didn't know what he was talking about. I searched YouTube all over for this video. I can't remember. I ended up asking Dranker, and Dranker's like, oh yeah, that happened. That's a real thing. Because at one point I thought this dude was fucking with me.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like,
dude, I've literally had viewers. I love you guys. Every time you guys see me in the lobby, like, even though it does get repetitive, I still love that you guys are like psyched to see me. Okay.
Yeah.
But there is every once in a while a viewer will take the stand of they feel like they really know me because they've been watching me for years. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm talking like they've watched. Like I've listened to a dude say, "Hey, I've watched your entire playthrough of San Andreas. I've watched it 3 times." Yeah. And I'm like, damn, that's crazy. And when I'm in the lobby, I'm like, hey, how you doing, this and that. But like, I leave it at that. This one person literally said, he's just like, man, after all we've been through, you're just going to do me like that? And I'm like, what do you mean all we've been through? I forget that.
You forget that.
You make a connection. Now, I don't have the connection back besides like through comments or whatever. But, you know, I don't know. You know, I lost a subscriber.
How?
This is fucked up, man. This fucked me up.
This dude has like 546,000 subscribers.
570,000.
Okay, like 570,000.
But this one subscriber that left, that wrote me a message, it fucked me up, right?
Okay.
So go back to Call of Duty 4 days, where before Machinima, I didn't know everybody that would comment, but like I'd see their username and I would recognize them. I had so few comments that I could actually recognize them, and there's people that would comment on every video.
Yeah.
And I would know them. Okay?
Yes,
it's
me too.
It's almost like it was a forum. It wasn't YouTube, it was just a forum. And I knew that member, right?
I know exactly what you're talking about. I know a lot of my subscribers by name because they leave comments on every video.
Yes. This was back in like Call of Duty 4 days, and then Modern Warfare 2 came up, and I kind of blew up a little bit in the whole scheme of things, whatever. But anyways, there was a video that I did called Last Modern Warfare 2 Game. I was like, you know what? I don't enjoy this game. This game could have been good, but it was flawed. I'm done with this game. Fuck you, Modern Warfare 2 kind of thing, right?
Okay.
Like, it was a good idea. It didn't work out. This is my last game. And for whatever reason, that video was just super popular, right?
Okay.
I got a message about 2 days after that from this guy that was a longtime supporter of my videos, right?
Like you saw his message and you were like, immediately you knew who it was.
Yes.
Okay.
And I clicked on it, and two things that he basically said in it. A, that somehow my success from my growing audience made me big-headed, which I hate hearing that. And B, he says, I really like Modern Warfare 2, so when you bash that game, fuck you. Longtime sub, I'm gone.
Yep.
And I took it like a breakup. I'm not even joking. I took it like a breakup because I was like, but you're like one of the original subs.
Yeah.
I like all my subscribers.
Now this happened a while ago.
Yeah, this happened during the end of Modern Warfare 2.
Oh, okay.
But it affects me to this day. I know it sounds weird, but like,
Why don't you try to get him back?
I'd have to go back and find his message and stuff like that. And
You know, here's one thing. Here's two misconceptions that happened with us YouTubers and our subscribers. One misconception is that we know all of you.
yeah,
All right, we don't know all of you. All right, but here's the other misconception: is that we don't know any of you. Mm-hmm. You know, we do. Like there is probably about 2,000 gamer tags and YouTube usernames that I know, and I know because you're leaving comments. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The thing that I think a lot of subscribers think is if they leave a comment, we're not going to read it.
Yeah.
That's not true.
Yeah.
That's not true. If there's a comment on my video, I read almost every single one. I read 95% of all comments on all my videos. I go back to older videos to read newer comments, to look at new people that I picked up.
I think I read all comments from the first couple of days on a video, but then like if you comment on a video from 3 years ago, good chance I'm not going to see it. I read every @ mentioned to me on Twitter.
Yeah, me too. Oh, and that's the worst when motherfuckers like they don't get a response from you on Twitter and they start spamming you. It's like, no, I read it, I just didn't respond. Like, stop.
Yeah. What I hate is when people say, "Fucking only use Blade never responds to your fans." No, I just never responded to you. I'm sorry. Like, go to my @ mentions and half of my tweets are me talking to other people. And when people say, "Why don't you respond to your fans?" I'm like, give me something to respond to. Ask me a question.
God, I cannot stand it. Every day I read my comments, there's people that promote their channels on my comments. I can't stand it. I block them instantly.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? That does not work. People are not subbing to your channel. This dude had this whole scheme set up where he was like, hey guys, I'm really sorry that I'm doing this, but I wanted to let you know that I have a really good channel and a lot of good videos up, and da-da-da. He had this big wrong spiel, and it was the copy-paste message that he put on all these popular videos, right? I went to this dude's channel. This kid had to have been, like, young as fuck. He was stealing videos from you, Woody, White Boy, myself, and uploading them to his channel and trying to get subs.
That's insane.
It was like the best of the best YouTuber or something like that.
You know who
Actually, do that.
You know what's cool? One of my original viewers, and he also is a dude that made videos. And I actually ran into him in the live stream that I did on my channel or on Twitch or whatever.
You're really low right now.
I'm talking in the mic. I'm sorry. I literally went quiet so that maybe the bird would match my quiet level.
Where is that bird?
I don't know. I want to.
That motherfucker sounds like he's 2 feet away.
Anyways, one of my good friends, person, God damn,
that bird!
The bird is killing the podcast.
No, the name of this podcast has to be Interrupting Bird.
Interrupting Bird. That bird. Tweet, motherfucker. That guy who camps. So that guy who camps.
I love that guy.
Used to make videos all the time, and he kind of stopped making videos. He basically he stopped being a regular uploader, and somehow I'm the person that everyone asks what happened to him.
Because you and him are really good friends.
Yeah, we're really tight, you know?
Yeah.
And so he keeps on going, like, he's not making videos right now because he's not feeling the YouTube scene. He's just not feeling it, so he doesn't.
That is probably the most real YouTuber I've ever met.
Besides me.
No, he's even more real than you.
It's
dude,
impossible.
That dude literally will only make videos if he wants to make videos.
Yeah.
That's the weirdest
That is
fucking
true.
thing.
That's true.
When money got involved in this game, people like felt like they had to make videos, otherwise their paycheck was going to suffer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This dude, to this day, is like, if I feel like making a video, I'm going to make a video. Like the other night when the maps came out, we're like, yo, you want to play? He's like, got some friends over, like real friends in real life that he wanted to play with and shit.
Yeah.
Like, that dude's real. And I'm telling you, that guy who camps literally saved FAG. I think I've already talked about this on this podcast, but if you're new, that guy who camps is the savior of fucking FAG. Back in the day, we had a channel False Flag. Didn't even know who this guy was. Camp contacts me. He's like, look, I'm going to get a bunch of YouTubers together. We're going to promote FAG and get you guys up and running again. Didn't even know him. That guy is the fucking... I'll always be in debt to that guy. I love him.
That's what's up. That's awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, but he randomly was online, just playing, and I invited him to a party. And I even told him, I was like, by the way, I'm live streaming right now, And he took it as I've started a live stream. Like,
yeah.
I've started the habit of live streaming. No, I was literally live streaming at the time of the conversation. And, I don't know, just hella cool dude, and I wish he still made videos, but at the same time, I understand if he's not feeling it, he's not going to force the issue. You know what I mean?
Right.
So...
He's not going to make videos for the sake of making videos.
Yeah.
That dude's cool. And he's young, too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of young people don't get a lot of respect, but that dude, the way he carries himself is just...
He's wiser beyond his years. There's a lot of things that remind me of me when I was a younger age. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I've always got along with him. We like a lot of the similar things. And I find it so funny that he's always been into zombies. Like, that's his thing, right?
Right.
He loves zombies. And he's really good at zombies. And, like, when Zombies comes out, he literally wants to... He has some other friends that are really good at zombies, and they go in and they try to get, like, the high score on the leaderboards for zombies. Like, he's just... That's how he is. And when this news... The Mob of the Dead came out, for whatever reason, I got into it, and he just wasn't playing Xbox at the time.
Yeah.
And I thought it was hilarious because I was like, dude, we've been playing zombies like crazy. Now this new one comes in. I don't care for the new one. And stop fucking... If I make a video or if I say something that I don't care for something, that's not me attacking it. That's just saying it's not my thing.
Yeah, don't fucking sit there and be like, what?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah,
it's so
like,
retarded.
Like I put out a tweet saying that I like Mob of the Dead better than Buried Alive or whatever it's called, right? And people were like, "Fuck you, you're a faggot, unsub. I hope you die in a fire." I'm like, I just say that I just said that I just like Mob of the Dead better.
Welcome to the internet.
Fuck.
Welcome to the internet.
And you know what? As a content creator, I'll constantly do this in every content. I don't want to say every content creator, but I'll say this. There'll be 99 very, very nice comments, one negative comment, and we reply to the negative comment.
Yeah,
Why?
I don't.
And people literally will send me negative comments, and I'll respond to them. They're like, I didn't actually mean that. I just wanted to get a response from you.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, what the fuck?
Because they know. One thing I like about Camp is that he recognizes me as an entertainer. So, like, there'll be something that will be, like, kind of shitty, and everyone will be up in arms about and, like, upset about me.
Yeah.
And he'll be like, dude, that was funny. you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I know what you were trying to do there. Man, that was good. Like, I value people like that, you know?
No, yeah. Campy is definitely the man.
So, we're going to be right back after this break.
Look at that bunny.
Bunny bouncing around. It ain't even Easter. It's the 4th of July. And we are back. You know what? Somebody sent me a message on Twitter, and they said on the 14th of July will be the 1-year anniversary
I saw that.
of...
Dildos for Africa.
Dildos for Africa.
Has it really been that long?
It's been that long, a complete year.
What? That's crazy.
I know.
Dildos for Africa. Oh my god, this was like 4 versions of the podcast ago.
If you
Has it been 4 versions? Is this the 4th or 3rd?
Oh, let me explain. There was Bad Kid Show, Bad Kid Podcast, Bad Kid Cast. This is the 3rd version. But we're not ever going to get taken down ever again, so we're golden now.
Okay.
But Dildos for Africa was a joke. Basically what was happening is there's all these charities going on and people were doing charities, and I was like, I don't like the whole concept of charity. I don't really want to get into it again, but if you've watched any of the other podcasts, you know. So I don't like charity, and I thought to myself, well, let's do a fucking charity event and act like we're trying to help someone, but let's do it like...
The premise is the most ridiculous shit in the world.
Let's just like try to fucking make it hilarious and see if people get behind it. So we came up with this idea to help women in Africa, to help them get dildos because they can't afford it. So I ran on this campaign for Dildos for Africa.
Time out. I thought that the premise behind Dildos for Africa was this: that there are starving children in Africa, and if
Well, there was 2 meanings, but yeah, go ahead. There's starving children in Africa.
There's starving children in Africa, and the only way that obviously that the women have children in Africa is if they're fucking, and a form of birth control somehow is dildos. If these women had dildos, then they wouldn't be having kids, so they wouldn't be starving children.
Right.
So that's what I thought the premise of Dildos for Africa were.
Basically, there was multiple motives, but anyhow, at the same time, right? It's kind of a fucking joke, right?
Of course.
So we're running for King of the Web for Dildos for Africa, and everyone's spamming hashtag Dildos for Africa all over the place. We got it fucking trending at one point.
Dildos for Africa was trending, and everyone in our gaming community and YouTube knew what the premise was.
Literally, like, every PKA, every fucking... Basically, we told our fans to spam Dildos for Africa on YouTube videos from every person in gaming, which they were doing.
Yeah, so the top comment would be Dildos for Africa. It could be like a heartfelt thing, like someone's like, my wife had her daughter, and now that I'm a father, it's really amazing the kind of life points and life lessons that I'm learning. It really changes my perspective.
Top comment?
Dildos for Africa. It's like, what the fuck?
Like, I remember, like, every video that Woody did, White Boy did, anybody, Wings, like, the top comment was always Dildos for Africa for a good month. Like, it was awesome. And what happened is these people came out of the woodworks, like vloggers on YouTube, fucking this Spanish guy, fucking that didn't even speak English, like, made this attack video. Everybody started making attack videos against us, basically saying, like, these guys are fucking horrible for doing this Dildos for Africa thing. We ended up getting a lot of hate, but there was still a ton of support.
So here's the thing. This was I know it's during a time, but like, this was for like King of the Web, and the issue with King of the Web is that it's a kind of a popularity contest. Whoever has the biggest thing. There was a thing to send people out to NASA,
right?
Like to send out, and I think the top people were Chris Smoove and White
Boy.
Yeah. But it becomes a popularity contest. Like whoever has the most subs. That would be a crazy trip to like. That would be like
go to NASA.
Yeah, to go out to like the moon. Like they were talking about, like that would be a. Imagine being with White Boy in a space shuttle. That'd be crazy. That'd be a bad trip.
No, you know what?
That would be a bad trip. Put that in your game. You know that game you're working on, the bad trip? Include that. Include the end of it.
In my game?
Yeah, include the end of bad. To capitalize on the bad trip is at the end you get to go in a fucking space shuttle with White Boy and imagine the kind of fucking... You know how I'd kill him. Nothing against you, Alex, but I don't think we'd get along.
Here's the thing. White Boy is not the same person in his videos as in real life.
True. That is true.
So you probably could live with White Boy in a fucking... White Boy's a different... He's way cool... Well, I shouldn't say he's way cooler in real person, but he's not the flamboyant... I don't know if I want to say annoying, but not the flamboyant, like, in-your-face type of person in real life. He's a different guy. And, I think I would get along with him.
You going to put that in your game? You going to put that in Bad Trip? How's that
Dude,
going anyway?
Okay, so for those of you that don't know, I'm developing a game called Bad Trip, and the way we set it up is we have funding for the game, and we can continue developing it. We let people buy it now.
Okay.
It's $25. It's on Indie City. I've had a couple hundred sales, and the premise behind it is the more people that are buying it, the faster the development has gone. And we've recently had some really good sales. So we're starting to get more and more stuff done. And what it is it's an island, right? It's an island, and it has like an autumn section. It has a winter section. It has like a summer section. And there's a jungle, and there's all this like different stuff. There's mountains with snow. There's a fucking castle. And basically on this island, you end up like landing on this island, and it's the Bermuda Triangle. All right, so all this weird shit's going on. There's a fucking giant T-Rex running around right now that tries to kill you.
Yeah.
There's fucking dildos on the ground. There really are dildos on the ground. There's a unicorn that shits out fucking rainbows and stars. And right now we're adding in all these different types of animals like rhinos, elephants, fucking cows, you name it. Every animal you can think of is going to be added in this game. And the thing is what we want to do with this game is we eventually want to get it to be a multiplayer, right? And what you end up doing is you end up killing all these animals. Like you start off with rocks, right? You start killing them. You start gathering supplies like Minecraft, and you start crafting traps and weapons to like gather more stuff. And it's kind of like a survival of this fucking weird world that you're in. And the premise behind it is that you're on this island that is not part of reality, and you keep on fucking eating mushrooms, and you're high as fuck, and you're having all these psychedelic experiences.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put a link to that in the description. It'd be cool to get some support from the Bad Kid podcast, get some sales in, and start working at. Right now, we're adding the animals in the game as it sits right now. There's a giant T-Rex that will try to kill you, and he fucking makes thunderous noises and chases you around the map. There's teleporters into different dimensions and different worlds. It's coming together really fucking good. They just added weather. We had an update this week. There's like crazy fucking weather, and it goes from night to day now.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because it was stuck in daytime all the time. Now it goes night to day. So it's really coming together. And I'm telling you, if you end up picking up a mushroom and it's like nighttime, it's trippy as fuck. Like, I picked up a mushroom, it was nighttime, and the water, because it's an island, the water in this one, what do I want to say, in the bay, in the main bay, is like neon fucking blue when you're tripping, and the dinosaur was chasing me. It was the scariest fucking thing, because all the grass turns neon orange when you're tripping, and the fucking giant dinosaur. I mean, it's fucking fun, dude. I'm really getting into it now that it's coming together pretty well. But the jungle scene looks amazing. Have you seen the jungle part?
No.
The jungle part looks like a real fucking jungle. And when you get in there, there's this like eerie sound that comes in, and you know some bad shit's about to happen. I'm fucking so excited for this game. I've made a lot of games before. I've had a lot of good sales, Fortress Scrap being one of them. But this game that I'm doing, Bad Trip, I want it to make a high-end game. And it's like happening. You know what I mean?
That's what's up.
It's like one of those things that you say, I'm going to do it, and you never fucking end up doing it. This is one of those things that I said I'm going to do, and I'm doing it.
That's what's up.
Doing it. So I'm really excited about Bad Trip. But I think we done a really good cast here.
Yeah, it's definitely a different set. I know that you guys can't see it, but like we're doing it in a different. Normally it's a nighttime thing, but I know it sounds cheesy and odd. But like going more than like 3 days without doing the podcast just feels not natural to me.
Yeah.
Don't you agree?
Yeah, I agree. Guys, we are on iTunes. We are on Android. We are on here on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you give us some love, put a thumbs up, leave a comment so we can get some feedback from you. Make sure you check out our sponsors, which is ProMods.
With a Z.
With a Z. That link is in the description. And peace and...
Buck grease.